Week 7 NFL. Mwah. It was absolute cinema. I'm telling you, man, this might be one of the best weeks of football we've had. And before I forget, we are starting with the UNC Bowl. The Unction, baby. Pittsburgh Steelers, 31 points. Cincinnati Bengals, 33. Absolute banger of a game, and it was still probably topped by Broncos Giants. Regardless, we got to talk about this. I've been forgetting Thursday night football. I also got to say, this has probably been my worst year for predictions. Every single week, I make a prediction for the Thursday game, and I'm always wrong. I said this game was going to be mid. This was such a good game. Okay, I think the biggest, the funniest part of this is Joe Flacco. So Joe Flacco's on the Browns, and he's kind of struggling. So the Browns trade him to the Bengals. Instantly with the Bengals. 342 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Now, I will say that the Bengals have pretty incredible wide receivers, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. They're great, but Joe Flacco played awesome. On top of that, Aaron Rodgers played really, really well. 250 and 4. He did have 2 interceptions, but this was just a spectacular game by both of these unks. Okay, you guys think I'm washed? You think I'm washed and chopped and fraud? Bro, I've got 13 more years until I'm these guys' age, okay? A lot can happen in 13 years. Not only that, but Jaylen Warren, I started him in fantasy. 130 yards, Chase Brown 108. I always think of the Pittsburgh Steelers as a great defense. They got shelled by Chase Brown, Joe Flacco. If Joe Burrow did this, I'd say, okay, it's Joe Burrow, but it wasn't. Gosh, this game is amazing. I think my favorite play from this game, though, was this T. Higgins play. So this is at the end of the game. It is 30-31, a minute 47 left. You've got T. Higgins up at the top of the screen here, guarded by barbecue chicken. Jalen Ramsey was getting torched. Bro, Jalen Ramsey's getting torched all game long, and the game sealing play is this heave, torched. T. Higgins comes under the ball, perfect football. Ramsey can't stay with him, and T. Higgins slides himself down. Literally genius, high IQ, gotta love that. You know how bad wide receivers want a touchdown? So he takes himself down, and the Steelers only have 2 timeouts and no 2-minute warning. So Cincinnati's virtually able to chew this entire clock, have an absolute chip shot of a field goal, drill it, and then win this game. Evan McPherson comes in and absolutely buries this field goal, no issues. So it's being reported that Joe Burrow is going to be ready to play supposedly December 19th, which is 2 days before their Week 16 matchup against the Dolphins. So that would technically mean that Joe Burrow could come back for the Dolphins game, the Cardinals game, and this final Browns game. They're 3-4 right now. So if Joe Burrow can come back and sweep, can Joe Flacco actually get them a few more wins in here? And could the Cincinnati Bengals still go to the playoffs? Either way, awesome game. Joe Flacco, still got it. This was a banger game. I didn't expect it, but it was a banger game. Okay, now let's get into NFL Week 7, where there were just... this is one of the greatest games I've ever watched. This is one of the craziest games I've ever watched. Giants-Broncos was off the charts. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that the Denver Broncos scored 33 points in the 4th quarter. I've never seen this. I thought this was an NFL record. It's not. It is so close to an NFL record, but it is 1 point short. The Detroit Lions did it against the Chicago Bears to win 37-27. This is in September 30th of 2007. We probably all forgot it because the housing market crashed and then our parents all hate us, but who cares about that, man? New York Giants, Denver Broncos, this game was crazy. Okay, my biggest takeaways from this game is a lot of people have been talking about Jaxson Dart's timely interception. So that's this play right here. It's kind of crazy. It's one of those Madden blitzes, right? So they literally just send the entire house. Nobody's blocking Alex Singleton. Cam Scadaboo, who's been a really good run blocking back, has to pick this up, and he gets bulldozed. You don't see that very often. Scadaboo got his ass ran over. Dart Pockets collapsing, honestly, pretty good protection. I'm not going to lie. This protection outside of right here, I mean, if Scatterboo gets a really good block here, this is really good protection. But Dart tries to step up, kind of gets tripped up. Now he doesn't have the leverage. He can't turn his hips. It's a weak pass, and he throws the interception. I saw a lot of people talking shit about this. They're saying this is the catalyst of the comeback and yada, yada, yada. Guys, I just cannot agree with that take at all. I don't know if that's a popular take, but I saw it. Jaxson Dart is the rookie quarterback for the New York Giants. The New York Giants have sucked with just about everybody at quarterback. The New York Giants are supposed to be touted for their defense, and Jaxson Dart, this is not a top 10 pick quarterback. Yes, he's very good and he's playing great, but they took him round 1, pick 25 or pick 21. Regardless, the fact that this kid is carrying your team is not on Jaxson Dart. The fact that he threw an interception is kind of a given. I mean, he actually played super, super well. He had a rushing touchdown on top of that. Tell me how you let up 33 points in the fourth quarter. Jaxson Dart did more than enough to win this game for the team. Yes, he threw the interception, but dude, he killed it. He had an awesome game. Giants defense and the defensive coordinator completely sold this game. Completely sold this game. It was incredible how quickly Denver could score in the final 8 minutes of that game. Every single thing they were doing was lighting up New York. I also talk about this a lot, but this is one of those games where I'm like, hey, Denver, where the fuck were you the whole game? Dude, you ever watch a game and it's like nothing's happening the whole game, and then all of a sudden, in the final few minutes, the offenses start like trying, they're air raiding, and they're getting so many yards, and you're like, guys, why didn't you just do this the whole game? You'd be leading by 40. I know that's a stupid take because teams have to pass. They have to be aggressive at the end. But watching the final minutes of this Denver Broncos offense was like watching a team that didn't exist. I mean, look at this. With 9 minutes, 40 seconds left, it's 26-8. And Denver goes on to win this 33-32. And what's crazy is this is another one of those games where so many big moments are negated in NFL history because they lost. Like Jaxson Dart had this diving, rushing touchdown, first and goal. There's 40 seconds left. Denver has no timeouts. 99 times out of 100, that wins you the game. Jaxson Dart reaches that across. That wins you the game. Game over. Rookie quarterback just beat Denver Broncos on their home turf. Unbelievable. Literally instantly, Denver marches all the way down. This is a chip shot field goal, too. They marched all the way for a 39-yarder. Just a piece of cake. It also negates this play. There were 2 tipped touchdowns in this game. So Jaxson Dart rifles this pass to, I think this is Wan'Dale Robinson. Can't hang on to it. Really good pass coverage. Theo Johnson just happens to be in the vicinity. And then guess what? Wan'Dale Robinson accidentally becomes a blocker. Or maybe he was just really smart and intentionally became a blocker. But that was probably the only guy who was going to tackle Theo Johnson on this. That same guy, sorry, I have to pause. And he still tried to make the play, which is impressive. But Theo Johnson is a big-ass tight end and just kind of ran him over. Look at this. This is gross. Wan'Dale's lost in the sauce, becomes a blocker on accident, and you get that touchdown. And that wasn't even the only one of this game. This is the Broncos' first touchdown. 2nd and goal. Bo Nix just rifles one back there, and here's Troy Franklin. I mean, there's 3 New York Giants. How do you defend against this? It's just shenanigans. It almost makes me think that teams should intentionally try to run. I mean, it's kind of like a hook and ladder, right? Like you pass it the ball, and then you shovel it back to someone who's running behind you, but like, I always think intentional tip Hail Marys should be a play. Because, you know, like, you've got this big mob of people, just one guy, your tallest guy's just got to slap it. Slap it away where your other guy's standing. I don't know. Because you got 2 touchdowns. Crazy game. If you're a Giants fan, I'm mad at Brian Daboll, and I'm mad at that defense because Jaxson Dart, he's the rookie quarterback. He's not round 1, pick 1. This guy's not God, and he's still playing incredible. Let's keep moving on. Indianapolis Colts, Los Angeles Chargers. You know, going into this week, I was really going to say there's only 2 teams that are consistently excellent teams so far because you can't really tell this year who's good. I was going to say it's the Indianapolis Colts and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but after the Lions just cleaned up Tampa Bay and Tampa Bay kind of looked like shit, I'm not going to lie, they looked like shit. We didn't even look that good. I think the Indianapolis Colts might be my #1 team in the NFL right now. I cannot believe that I'm saying that. I genuinely can't believe that I'm saying that. But I think the Indianapolis Colts might be #1 in my power rankings right now. Just looking at some people's Week 8 power rankings, they've got the Detroit Lions at 1, and they've got the Indianapolis Colts at 2. 3, they've got Philly. 4 is Tampa Bay. 5 is Los Angeles Rams. 6 is Buffalo, Kansas City, Green Bay, Seattle, and San Francisco. I'm going to be honest, I would certainly put Seattle a lot higher than 9, and I would probably put Green Bay a lot higher than 8. I don't like either of these rankings on this. I'm okay with, like, I love having my Detroit Lions up at #1, but I'm gonna be honest, I feel like if we played head-to-head against the Indianapolis Colts right now, I don't like our odds. Indianapolis it's incredible what they're doing. Their run game is so strong. Their defense has been playing solid, not excellent, but their pass game's been great too with Daniel Jones. This game, I think prior to the game, Indianapolis was actually the underdog. Yeah, it was LA Chargers -2.5. And, dude, Daniel Jones is just playing the most efficient football I've ever seen out of him. 288, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions is the big one. Jonathan Taylor is so back. I don't know why I ever doubted Jonathan Taylor in my life. 3 touchdowns, 16 attempts, 94 yards. Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end, has been super involved. That's why they took him with their first-round pick, and it's paying off. Bears not doing the same with their rookie tight end, Colston Loveland, who was taken he was taken in the first round, I believe, as well. Michael Pittman's still really solid. Alec Pierce still really solid. The thing about the Colts is I still look at this roster, and I just don't think it's that talented, and yet they just keep playing so well. This team defies everything that I think about football. It really does. The Indianapolis Colts are just so good right now. 55 passes out of Justin Herbert, though. I always look at this. Whenever you see a 50-plus passing game, I always feel like you're going to lose that game. But I don't know. I mean, Joe Flacco had 47 attempts in that Bengals game, and they won that game. So maybe it works sometimes. Green Bay Packers, Arizona Cardinals. Okay, this was the #1 game where I can retract and write my apology form for Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons was unbelievable defensive player of the year in this game. I think it is going to be a tight race this year between Micah Parsons and Aiden Hutchinson for defensive player of the year. But if Micah Parsons keeps doing this, they don't stand a chance. Now, I will say most teams are double-teaming Micah Parsons every single play. The Arizona Cardinals kind of took their chances and did not double-team Micah. And he was completely dog-walking everybody. It was unbelievable how good he was. I think he had 3 solo sacks. 3 sacks, 4 TFLs. He's got 5.5 sacks on the season. It's kind of like the Aaron Donald syndrome. Like, Aaron Donald would have much lower stats at the end of the year than he probably could have, but they were like double, triple teaming Aaron Donald because he was so good. I'm not going to put Micah Parsons on Aaron Donald's level yet because he hasn't earned it yet. But he really is getting double teamed like all the time. He just wasn't in this game. And the second you don't double team him, it's 3 sacks for Green Bay. Although I will say, this is not even the Kyler Murray Arizona Cardinals. This is the Jacoby Brissett Arizona Cardinals. They had a chance to win this game. Arizona could literally be 7-0. You know how stupid that sounds? Arizona has lost every single game by 1 singular touchdown. Jacoby Brissett has had multiple opportunities to win the game. Like end zone, red zone touchdown opportunities at the end of the game, and he just can't do it. Now, I'm not going to like sit here and talk shit about Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett has more or less been a career backup. I know he started a few times. I think he started Indianapolis for a little bit. He might have played some serious reps in New England, but nobody's putting the hopes and dreams of their franchise on Jacoby Brissett. I'm almost more concerned for the Packers on this. This should not have been a close game. Packers were a massive favorite, -7, and Jacoby Brissett was playing pretty damn good. Packers don't have Jaden Reed. I get that. They're still working in their rookie Matthew Golden. I get that. But this was like, hey guys, this is the Arizona Cardinals. Why is this such a struggle of a game for us right now? Frankly, Green Bay was losing this entire game. Almost the entire game they were losing until the fourth quarter. They squeaked it out and stopped Arizona. That's what good teams do. They win the game. But yeah, that was a really close game. Carolina Panthers, New York Jets. What do I even have to say about this? This game is so dog shit. The Jets are so unbelievably ass. Guess what, baby? I got the win. It was actually a utter slugfest. 145 to 136. I started out this week with a ton of points. Devontae Smith, 33 points on 183 yards and a touchdown. We'll get to that game later because that was an awesome game. Chris Olave, I nicknamed him Washed Cornball. This is not the case. 27 points. Saints are starting to look kind of good. And I love to see that. I mean, they still lost, but I love to see it going to Olave. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Bill didn't do dick. They had Chris Rodriguez in there. That was pissing me off. Bijan Robinson, my literal GOAT, continues to be the literal GOAT. 22 points. I started Justin Fields because I'm a stupid idiot. Hear me out, though. In a few games, Justin Fields was unbelievable. 30 points against Pittsburgh. He gets injured here. 28 against Miami, 26 against Dallas. He laid an egg against Denver. And then I was like, okay, well, Denver has good defense. Carolina's ass. Justin Fields is going to run around like a maniac, and he's going to get points. Well, he got 4 points. I'm a stupid idiot. He had Jonathan Taylor for 34, Keenan Allen for 29, and Javonte Williams for 20. But I just barely squeaked out the W. Thank God for Giga Chad, Brandon Aubrey for 18. Jalen Warren for 20. The reason my team is so ugly this week, I had Josh Allen on a bye. I have no running back depth still. That is shooting me in the foot. Garrett Wilson out. Puka Nacua out. I got to trade for a running back. I don't know what running back I'm going to trade for. This is actually, this dude's name in the league is Rick's running back or resale because he has so many good running backs. I kind of need to make a trade with him. He's got Jonathan Taylor, Devon Achane, Saquon Barkley, Javonte Williams. And then on his bench, he's got Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift, Chuba. He is literally the running back resale team. But this is Dynasty, so I have to be very, very careful. I still have faith in Travion Henderson. In the future, maybe next year, though, because they hate that guy. They prefer Ramondre Stevenson's washed ass. Panthers, Jets. I don't have much to say other than the Jets are really ass, and I feel for them, and I hope they figure something out, and who knows? I mean, are they going to draft a quarterback this year? What even do you do here? If you're the New York Jets and you're 0-7, that's just got to be so brutal for Aaron Glenn. New Orleans Saints, Chicago Bears. Chicago is kind of rolling, ladies and gentlemen. The NFC North is kind of really good, ladies and gentlemen. We already knew that, but I think Chicago at the start of the season, a lot of people were like, uh-oh, Chicago's cooked. Chicago looks like shit. Caleb Williams didn't even throw a single touchdown. In fact, he just threw an interception. Spencer Rattler beat him, though, with 3 interceptions and 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift kind of has the juice back. Have you guys noticed that? I feel like last year I was watching DeAndre Swift. I was like, this guy's washed. Get him out of there. This guy's washed. I don't know what happened, but he lost the step. DeAndre Swift has looked incredibly good. Not only that, but the backup, Kyle Monangai. Both of the running backs against the Saints averaged more than 6 yards a carry, a touchdown apiece. Really wasn't much going in the passing game. I was expecting more out of Odunze. Odunze started out this season super hot, getting a ton of targets, really liking it. I've been starting him in fantasy. All of a sudden, he's laying an egg. All right, whatever. Bears get a win. Now the Bears are 4-2. It's honestly kind of crazy. Philadelphia Eagles, Minnesota Vikings. Okay, this game was so weird to me. I understand that this is like the Carson Wentz return to Philly game, but Carson Wentz has been bouncing around teams. He hasn't been a starter in a long time. This is the backup for the Minnesota Vikings, taking on the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. And the odds were barely in favor of Philly. I was so shocked by this. I think Minnesota got Blake Cashman back off of injury, so that's nice. But, like, how on earth was Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champions, slated to just barely beat the Carson Wentz Minnesota Vikings? And guess what? It ended up being a good game. Jalen Hurts passed for, I believe, some of the most passing yards of his career. Jalen Hurts looked incredible. Jalen Hurts does this. I'm sorry. I know I'm a Jalen Hurts glazer. I'm still not putting him in top 5. But Jalen Hurts, every time you really start to shit on this guy and say he can't do it and say he can't pass, he puts up a fucking perfect QBR. Go ahead and hate on Jalen Hurts all you want. You cannot deny how spectacular he was at throwing the football in this game. If you want to be a hater and say this was the anomaly and he'll never do it again, then fine, be a hater. But this is an actual perfect QBR of 158.3. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 19 for 23, 326 yards. And I think most importantly, this was not check down merchant Jalen Hurts. This was Giga Dot gunslinger improviser Jalen Hurts. This is on 4th and 4. People always talk shit about the Philadelphia Eagles. All they can do is tush push. That's the only thing they trust on this team. Spectacular blocking. Literally spectacular blocking. Probably got away with a hold right here, but Fucking everybody and their mother gets away with the hold, so I'm not gonna talk shit. Jalen Hurts directing traffic. User playmaker, baby. Playmakers, A.J. Brown up the field. Literal perfect ball. This is against what I think is one of the best defenses in football. I think the Vikings have a top 5 defense in football, and Jalen Hurts threw all over them. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked at all if the Vikings game plan was like, hey, let's just make Jalen Hurts throw and let's win the game. And that shit didn't happen at all. They got lit up. I mean, they still played a really good game and it was close. I think the significantly better ball though was this. This is an absolute fucking money ball. This is so gorgeous. Steps up in the pocket, feet set, gets his body into it. You legitimately cannot throw this football any better. Ironically, this is the same pass he missed last week. Same pass he missed last week. Devonta Smith, way to stay up on your feet for my fantasy team. I love you with the neon cleats. And that's a perfect football. Let's see what people are saying. Jalen Hurts can't throw. I thought he couldn't throw. They said he couldn't throw. Smitty's in that top 10 receiver conversation. Yeah, I don't know about that. I love Smitty, but I don't know about that. Smitty had Rodgers on the ground doing Fletcher Cox sack celebration. Reminds me of the Super Bowl haters. Hurts haters are down bad. Not bad for someone that apparently can't. Okay, it's all glaze. It's all Jalen Hurts glaze. Very well-deserved glaze, though. Very well-deserved glaze. Shout out Carson Wentz, though. I mean, he went in there and tried it out. 313 yards for a very washed Carson Wentz is an interesting thing. I think the number one thing I noticed from this game is that Eagles defense has kind of been struggling. Eagles defense is not the defense that I'm used to seeing. The Eagles defense in the Super Bowl was like this unstoppable force. They were just unbelievably good. And I feel like the Eagles can't stop the run very well this year. They can't stop the pass very well this year. I agree with most rankings that the Eagles they're not a top 2 team. They have not played like a top 2 team in the NFL right now. NFL's kind of built on dynasties, though. I won't be shocked at all if Philly makes it back to the NFC Championship. I just want my Detroit Lions to beat them. That's kind of where I'm going. Low-key, I'm glad that Indianapolis is over there in the AFC. I don't want to see the Indianapolis Colts in playoffs. I really don't. They're freaking me the fuck out. Cleveland Browns, Miami Dolphins. Good God, Miami Dolphins are so bad. They're so bad. You had Dylan Gabriel looking like him out there. Who would you say is a shittier team right now? Would you say the Miami Dolphins is shittier? Would you say the Tennessee Titans are shittier? Both of these teams major suck. I know I'm skipping over Miami real quick. Patriots looked solid. I don't want to put a lot of credence into anybody playing the Titans because they've looked so bad. The number one thing I've noticed about this game, Cam Ward is a turnover machine. Not only does he have more interceptions than touchdowns, but Cam, this doesn't even show his fumbles. The fumble that Cam Ward had in this game, he literally didn't get touched. So I don't know what this is. I've never played the quarterback position, and I don't understand this. My gut tells me this is just nerves, but I have no idea. This was the fumble Cam Ward had against Patriots. Out of Cam Ward's hands. I mean, it almost looks like he got pressured and he hit him, but he didn't. I mean, when you slow this down, he literally goes to throw the football, falls out of his hands. That's a touchdown for New England. Or touchdown. I mean, what? This was the second week. He did it multiple times. Yeah, he did it against the Raiders, too. This is kind of like... It's just crazy. I still think that the Tennessee Titans made the correct pick. Cam Ward, by far, is the most just outright talented player. Jaxson Dart is playing better right now, but Cam Ward's ceiling and literal talent is so high. Part of the problem is that Tennessee's horrible. The organization is horrible. There is so little. This is the least talented roster in the NFL, and it's not even close. Many of these players would be depth players if you traded them to other teams. Tony Pollard doesn't really have it anymore. Tyjae Spears has looked okay. We got Chimere DK, Von Jefferson, Gunnar Helm, Alec Ayomanor, a very old Tyler Lockett, and Chiga Conquo. These guys are literally depth players on almost every other team, and they're starters on Tennessee. This team's just bad. So, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I don't want to kick a man while they're down, but I hope Cam Ward turns it around because turning the ball over like that is kind of just bizarre. That's not... It was a pretty good game before that, too. Tua Tagovailoa actually got fucking benched. 3 interceptions. Quinn Ewers came in. Quinn Ewers was selected in the 7th round. Quinn Ewers was selected in the 7th round, and Miami turned down Tua Tagovailoa, because he was playing so bad, to get Quinn Ewers in. Now, Cleveland has an excellent defense. In fact, Cleveland has the best rush defense in the NFL, and Devon Achane still went for 82 yards, so there's some small things to say. And I do like Ollie Gordon. I think they made a great pick with Ollie Gordon. I think he's played his heart out on a team that's really, really struggling. Dylan Gabriel, efficient with his passes, but the big name coming out of this game is Quinshon Judkins. Quinshon Judkins out of Ohio State University has been a monster. I wanted him in Dynasty so fucking bad, and someone took him right before me. I was pissed. Quinshon Judkins has looked amazing. 31-6. A nice win for the Browns, but I don't know. Beating the Dolphins doesn't mean much. I think the only other thing that I'm very excited about is Harold Fannin Jr., Bowling Green tight end on my Dynasty team. He is a very interesting player in the league. Just watch Harold Fannin play football. He's like the most bizarre build and unique player. If you ever have the misfortune of watching a Browns game, just pay attention to Harold Fannin. I think he's a really fun guy to watch. But, yeah. I mean, Browns are in a... Here's the thing, though. Miami and Cleveland are very different teams. They're both struggling a lot right now, but Miami is not really in rebuild mode. I mean, Tua is not a rebuild quarterback right now. They keep trying. It's not working. Quinn Ewers, 7th-round pick. Is that the future? I don't know. Devon Achane is young. You've got a lot of money tied up in Tyreek Hill, who probably isn't getting any better. Big injury for him. This team is in a lot of trouble. Whereas the Cleveland Browns, I'm kind of excited about this team. They've always had a good rush defense. Myles Garrett is a unique, out of this world player. Maybe Dylan Gabriel develops, but Quinshon Judkins certainly is. Harold Fannin certainly is. Carson Schlesinger, you gotta love Schlessinger's GOAT out of UCLA, the middle linebacker. I actually think like Cleveland can really turn things around in the next couple of years, where I don't feel as highly about Miami doing that. Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders. This is probably one of my worst predictions of the year, too, dude. I said that the dark horse team this year was Las Vegas. Like, Las Vegas, that's my dark horse team. They're fucking ass, bro. They're shit. You know why I thought they were going to be good? Is because I love Geno. I thought Geno was going to be this guy, and I've seen him play such good backup football in Seattle. I saw him take over as a starter and play good in Seattle. And sometimes you just realize, like, organizations are not built the same. They're really just not. Some organizations, like the San Francisco 49ers, can take Mac Jones and make him look like this spectacular quarterback. They can level up these players to their max potential. And other organizations take players, and it's like you're asking Geno to win the game for you. And that's not what he was being asked of in these other systems. And he's just looked so bad. And I hate to say it. I mean, Kenny Pickett came in, for Christ's sake. Ashton Genty, free my fucking boy. 6 attempts for 21 yards. This is round 1, pick 6. Free my boy. Free my boy, Ashton Genty. Shit. This is the running back curse. Bro, if you're a really good running back and you get taken to a bad team, you're just in piss. It sucks. Kansas City looked damn good, though. So I've been kind of talking a lot of shit about the fact that Patrick Mahomes is the league leader for MVP right now. He is the highest odds to win MVP. Shit, he looked like it last week. I've been talking a lot of shit about it, but this is a classic Patrick Mahomes game. 290 yards, 3 touchdowns on the season. He's got 1,814 and 2. He actually does deserve it. Mahomes is the clear favorite now. Josh Allen, 3x odds behind. Baker Mayfield, 7x behind Patrick Mahomes. What this is implying mathematically is Patrick Mahomes is 5 times more likely to win MVP right now than Baker Mayfield. And then Drake May is 4th and Matthew Stafford is 5th. Jared Goff is 6th. So that's pretty cool to see. Drake May is up there in the top 5, but it's Patrick Mahomes standout right now. So we'll see. Noted for the first time the entire season other than prior to week 1, Jaxson Dart is the Offensive Rookie of the Year favorite. I've been saying this every week. All of these awards are so weighted in favor of the quarterback that all it took was Emeka Egbuka having one not-so-great game, which really wasn't even his fault. You know, Baker just wasn't playing that well. Baker was overthrowing a lot in that game. And Jaxson Dart to have that awesome game against Denver. Jaxson Dart didn't even win. They lost that game. But Jaxson Dart played amazing, and now Jaxson Dart is the leader for this. Tyler Warren at 3rd, Quinshon at 4th, and T-Mac at 5th. That's how quickly it can change. These are just odds, by the way. I'm not telling you to place bets. Please don't. Please don't watch these videos and then go place a bet, you fucking degenerate. Like, the odds show where things are trending. So it's a useful metric to look at when you're evaluating games. Okay, let's talk about Seattle Seahawks and Detroit Lions. And before we do that, actually, I want to talk about some of the best plays today. Travis Hunter got his first career NFL touchdown. Granted, this was garbage time. This is a very nice ball from Trevor Lawrence. It looked good, but this was garbage time. Los Angeles Rams completely manhandled the Jacksonville Jaguars. And something that I think a lot of people are talking about is how the Rams really could be undefeated. And they could. I mean, the Rams lost that game to the Eagles off of that crazy kick six, right? Like, the Rams are a very legitimate team. Puka Nacua should be coming back. I pray that he comes back. This is a super legitimate team. The Rams are probably in my top 5 for the power rankings. I probably got Rams up there, Lions up there, Seahawks, Colts. And the 5th team, unfortunately, I'd have to say Kansas City, which I fucking hate, but whatever. Look at Drake May with the deep bomb. That is an absolute fucking beautiful football. It is slightly... No, I'm not going to say shit. That was a literally beautiful football. I was going to say slightly on the thing. It's not. That was perfect. Gosh, you know who's been incredible? You know what was a really good acquisition? We talk a lot of shit about how, like, the Cowboys traded Micah, and that's very deserved. But George Pickens going to Dallas, I didn't think he was going to be this good. Now, granted, CeeDee Lamb was back this week, wasn't he? I was going to say CeeDee Lamb's been out, so he's been getting more targets, but George Pickens has been unbelievable. 49ers-Falcons game was not very impressive. Kind of a slow game, but San Fran actually loves these kind of games. Absolutely loves these kind of games because they always win them. CMC's very efficient. And Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh was the best thing to happen to the Niners this offseason. Dude, Robert Saleh has nobody on that defense. Everybody's injured on that defense, and he still held the Falcons to 10. There was a bunch of, like, almost practice squad guys for San Fran that were just playing out of their minds defensively. Michael Penix was struggling to get the ball down the field. Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, Detroit Lions missing both the starting corners and both the starting safeties. Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch. Although I think Kirby Joseph ended up playing, so I'm kind of full of shit. Regardless, this was supposed to be this high-scoring, crazy game because Tampa Bay scores a lot, Detroit scores a lot, our defense kind of gets shredded. Their defense kind of gets shredded. So everyone's thinking this is going to be a high-scoring game. This was turnover central. Jahmyr Gibbs had a sick-ass, huge run. He's way too fucking fast. I don't know what safety in the league was going to catch him. Certainly not Antoine Winfield. Jahmyr Gibbs, unbelievable. He hit 23 miles per hour, 3rd fastest in a game in the last 3 years. Unbelievable. Jahmyr Gibbs, big touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, another tutty for him. Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown. When this game kicked off, this was the first touchdown. I'm thinking, oh my God, here we are. We're in for a big one. And then it was fumble, interception, fumble, interception. This shit was crazy. This shit was crazy. So Baker all game long was overthrowing. Like throwing high and it was weird. I don't know why I've never seen Baker do it. He's usually just so electric, so elite. It was just an off game for Baker Mayfield. Cade Otton gets a mitt on this. We get a mitt on it. That's Mollett. They call it a catch, Cade Otton. And then you review this. Cade Otton's barely got this thing tucked up on his shoulder, right? Mollett gets in there. Cade Otton grabs it. Mollett grabs it back. I don't know. Obviously, I'm biased. You ask me. It looks like the Lions player has possession, and Cade Otton is desperately trying to get it back. People are kind of arguing about it. They ended up giving it. They reviewed it and give the interception to Detroit. John says, bro, that's a terrible call. This guy says, you're saying it's a bad call, but the Bucs receiver would have never had any form of possession if the DB didn't pin it. The lack of ball knowledge in this comment section is honestly astonishing. Lions player had the ball in his chest when they hit the ground. Otton had the ball on top of his shoulder and it was moving around. He did not have possession whatsoever. One of the easiest calls I've ever seen. Argue with a wall. I'm going to be honest. I certainly personally thought it was an interception, but it's impossible for me not to be biased. So I just can't not be biased. It's my team. I want, of course. Tez Johnson was fucking cooking. Can we talk about that? This was a beautiful play, really well-designed screen pass to Tez Johnson, and it looks like it's going to get solid yards. But he goes for this pseudo hurdle, which leads into a stop, spin, and into the end zone. Tez Johnson is my size. Tez Johnson is 5'9", 150 pounds. Doing that shit in an NFL game. Short Kings unite. Tez Johnson was looking good. A lot of turnovers, though. It really was a sloppy game. Mike Evans broke his collarbone. That sucks. I mean, it's more targets for Emeka Egbuka, so, and he's really shined, but this is sad for Mike Evans. And, yeah, I mean, how many awesome wide receivers have gone down? Malik Neighbors has gone down. Mike Evans has gone down. Tyreek Hill has gone down. So sad. And, yeah, the streak is over. Mike Evans getting 1,000 receiving yards like every season. The streak has finally ended. Seattle Seahawks, Houston Texans. Let's talk a little bit about that game. Yeah, 9-24 at the end of this game. Ugly game. Texans legitimately might have the worst O-line in the league, and JSN is best wide receiver in the NFL. That's someone talking about Seahawks, Texans. Texans don't have it anymore. I don't know what magic the Texans had a while ago, but they just don't have it anymore. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Oh, my God. You know, when at a point in time, remember, Seattle had DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Jackson Smith and Jigba was just trying to get a rep or two. DK goes to Pittsburgh. Tyler Lockett's in Tennessee. Jackson Smith and Jigba's the only guy left, and he's a freak. An absolute freak. Score from this game, 27-19. I think Houston kind of got a poverty touchdown there, one that didn't really matter so much. But Seattle is a scary-ass team. I think Seattle is a very legitimate top 5 NFL team right now. Sam Darnold, once again, you know, they don't remind me of the Colts. I was going to say, Sam Darnold isn't doing anything super impressive to me. He is just playing efficient football. But the thing is, it doesn't matter. You've got so many playmakers. You've got a good 1-2 punch at running back. It's a good Week 7 recap. I didn't miss the UNC Bowl. We talked about some of the biggest games. If there's anything huge I missed, I'm sorry. I suck, and I'm not him. Remember, you're a stud. I love you. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.